Hello, hello, hello. So today we are going to be doing the second episode of Ehrlich Unleashed, the podcast for streamers by streamers. Happy to be here, and we will be introducing right now Jalab, who is the co-host of the podcast. So let's get going. How are you doing, Jalab? Oh, I can see
I'm
you're not.
good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're not visible yet. Hopefully it's going to load. Yes, loading, and you're here. How are you doing?
Yay. I'm good. I'm good. Quite excited for today's episode.
Yeah, because our guest today is Xausis, also known as the Master of Chaos, bringing the randomness in his game nights, destroying Valorant, League of Legends, Starfield, and more. We are super happy to have him today, as he has been a cornerstone in making Alicia that customizable, sorry, giving us an amazing feedback, but also testing her till the edge. We are not only grateful, but glad that the Alicia adventure make us meet. How are you doing today, Xausis? You're not visible again. Sorry. Give me a
Smooth
sec.
introduction.
Obviously, every time. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm good now.
You're live now. Yes.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. Nice to be on stream. I'm excited for it as well.
We're glad to have you. So it's quite nice. You've been with us for about like 6, 7 months now, so you're kind of a
Yeah.
seasoned player. So yeah, maybe do you want to start with the first question, Nico?
Yeah. So I guess it's the first question really we ask every streamer. It's how did you start streaming? What really was the reason you decided? Hey, I'll go on Twitch, push the go live button, and do stuff.
So I'm sure it's just like everyone else, where it was in the middle of COVID and there wasn't a lot of, you know, interaction between friends because of that. So my primary purpose for streaming was just, have an excuse to talk to friends. My girlfriend was upset with me that I was playing games all the time, so I was like, "Why don't you watch me play games?" It didn't work. But that's why I started, as an excuse to talk to friends mainly.
So more like, yeah, creating connection. I think it has been
Mm.
the same. Kind of the same for a lot of different people, even Jeff and DSB who were there for the first episodes. The COVID and the all this period was kind of the trigger on going live and trying to share as much as I can directly on the platform. And how was it like for you when you started? Like,
So I think the advantage of starting at a time where everyone is home is that there were many people watching, and it's very different now because if you've seen any streamer stat in the past 2 years since things have opened up, the viewers are declining on every streamer. There's no streamer that has viewers going up.
yeah,
So it was really nice early on because it was such an active community and there were so many people. But now it's, toned down a lot and it's a lot more closer knit rather than large and overwhelming before.
yeah.
So I don't know which I prefer. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I got the same. I also felt that as a streamer, I kind of reduced the number of streams that I was doing, so it was kind of related to not only the viewership, but more than the frequency of streaming, which impacted quite a lot on my end, like how many people were tuning in wherever I was streaming. One of the things that I found was kind of the key element for me to stop like thinking too much on the numbers was to obviously, like a lot of different streamers, hide the numbers and not look at it to kind of remove this pressure. And yeah, it really helped to do a break first and then come back and just stop like looking at the numbers. You might see a cat, yeah, like here. So he's always there. So he just wanted attention. I'm not sure if he wants to say something, maybe. No, he doesn't. He just
He's
wants
not
to.
interested in streaming.
No, he would be a star, to be honest. So yeah,
When he decides to show up, yeah.
yeah. How did you manage the kind of drop in viewership or at least engagement on your end?
I'm still going through it mostly,
Okay.
but at the same time, like I said, it it's a drop in viewers, but it's a tighter community as a result. So
Yeah.
rather than maybe 10 people you see once in a while, it could be 5 people you see every time, and I definitely prefer that a lot more because it's such a tighter community, and tools like Alicia set up so many inside jokes and whatnot within those 5-10 people that it's even more helpful to bring everyone together and eventually hopefully expand out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the like the tighter community is something that basically I've seen as well. We were talking last time about like raids, but basically for me was the trigger even that made me affiliates at the beginning. And so obviously like you're looking to this kind of rush when you get a raid, and it's quite cool. But I also realized that a lot of time you get the raid, but you will have very few people talking because most of the people are lurkers, and so you're glad like in a sense you will have a lot of viewers, but in the other you're not engaging as much as you'd like to, and I really realized that basically less viewers but more engaged is, to me at least, give me better experience as a streamer. So I'm not searching for having higher numbers. The main thing I'm searching is having better like interaction when I'm streaming. So if it's going to be between like 3 viewers to 10 and people are talking, I'm glad. Like I don't have to look for something else. That's the main thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting topic. I've seen this kind of discussion on Reddit a lot or on Twitter where people are debating, are we happy to have lurkers? Are we happy to have raids where not many people or no one is really posting messages? And there are some mixed feelings around, yes, it's good for numbers and I'm happy someone, if he is lurking, he opened the tab on my stream, decided to open the tab on my stream and not another stream, and so it's helping me with the viewers, but it's not bringing anything to the stream and like to the quality of interaction. So it's, yeah. I know that I care about numbers too much, so I'm happy about lurkers, but I also care about the chat activity. So it's like, why do I have 10 viewers and no one is posting anything?
Yeah. There is a comment in chat. I'm not sure I will pronounce your name right. Roof Live, I guess. And basically, to me, COVID was also big introduction for Twitch. I wasn't watching that much Twitch before COVID, so it's really like a two-way street. Really introduced Twitch, got the biggest boost that you could ever get during that time. But yeah. Lurkers, I think for the lurk, it's I'm glad when people choose my stream to lurk, specifically because I do music, so it's normal for me to have more like on the ratio more lurkers and engaged viewers. But it really depends on the days. Like there is days where I'm just glad no one is talking. I'm just like grabbing the saxophone and playing, and that's it. And there is days where you're really seeking this type of interaction. So, yeah.
I think it really depends on what you're streaming, and this is new for me because before Alicia and getting introduced to this side of Twitch, I'd never really been introduced to a musical side of Twitch, and I know it feels like a majority of users who use Alicia are on the musical side.
No, not anymore, but yeah, at the beginning when you joined
Well,
us.
mhm.
Yeah.
So it was a big switch for me because I've always sort of been involved in Twitch and content creation and just watching my favorite people. So then coming to this community and seeing the music side of it that I'd never really been interested in before, it was just surprising to see how it's equally as big as the gaming side, and I just never bothered to do my research into it.
Yeah. It's I think it really exploded during COVID specifically because also musicians were out of gigs and just like, okay, we need to do something and create music and do some creation. So it went directly through Twitch at that time, where it was it was, I think, different for different genre of streaming, where this rush was not as big as the one for music. So it was a big trigger. When you started streaming, you really, so as you were describing, it was more like being able to do what you usually do in playing with friends and having this directly live. Did you ever like thought about, okay, maybe I could do something else like RRL or I don't know, cooking or any other type of streaming?
So I've thought a lot about cooking because I really enjoy cooking. It's one of my favorite hobbies, but I still live in, a pretty large house with other people, and I didn't want to inconvenience everyone by setting up, two cameras in the kitchen and saying, "Oh, you can't come in the kitchen, Mom, get out," like that sort of. So maybe eventually I'll do cooking, but I stuck to gaming because I didn't really have any creativity when it comes to art or music. I played the clarinet in middle school, and that's the extent of my musical career.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's just been gaming for me and interacting with friends playing games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and did you feel like you were so when you started you were playing, let's say, a specific game? Did you feel like you could switch games whenever you wanted, or did you feel like your community cared about the games you were playing?
So when I first started streaming, I was only an Overwatch streamer, purely Overwatch. Now, you two have watched some of my streams. Have you ever seen me play Overwatch since?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Not
I
a
don't know.
not a single time. So that switch, like switching away from Overwatch, I instantly lost a core part of my community that only wanted to watch Overwatch.
Yeah.
And I'm still not reaching, and it's a mix of, like we talked about earlier, where less people are watching now than ever. So switching to variety from sticking to a single game also typically does lose you interest,
Yeah.
especially when a majority of your audience is a little bit younger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think that was one of the conversations that we had with Jalab a while back, specifically because I was doing mainly saxophone. Then I wanted to do a bit of guitar, which is not like switching game, but it was already a change. And then I started to do some video games, which are not the most watched video games that exist, like Flight Simulator or City Skyline. And we're kind of looking at this, and because Jalab was the, let's say, the manager in a sense. So he was, yeah, we were discussing about it, like, okay, is this like we're not getting where we want, but it's fine because actually, I think it's better to just like stream what you really care about. If you're not, obviously, there is people that are really looking into going deep into one specific goal, which is living out of Twitch. But sometimes it's not the case, and if it's just something you'd like to enjoy doing, being able to switch is quite a core mechanism if you want to still enjoy what you do with time. So, and yeah.
To go back on what you said about switching to games that not a lot of people watch, this is something that I struggled with a lot and still struggle with, where my favorite game is Civilization 5.
Yeah.
And
hard to stream.
it's hard to stream. I've tried a few times, but typically what I've noticed about games is, unless the game came out a week ago, unless you're in like the top percentile of the best players, it never necessarily makes sense to stream something single player. You need that multiplayer connection in order to sort of put yourself out there, and it's definitely a frustrating part.
Yeah. You have few people in the chat that I think are referring to you. So, I have to say hi now. I feel you on that, and actually one of the things that made it a bit easier to me in a sense was just including Alicia as kind of a second player. Like for City Skyline, she makes decision on the city, and for Flight Simulator, she's the kind of co-pilot, so she gives me flight direction and stuff like this. So I still have this dynamic where we are at least two, not just one, which makes it hopefully a bit more dynamic. But yeah, It's you, Nico. You were playing mainly one game.
Yeah, I was playing only one game on stream, and if I don't play that game, I just don't have my viewers. But the thing is, with the red trains, I've been trying to divert a bit and play either like pick a game, like I played a cat RPG game, which was
That was
single
actually-
player, and it was quite funny. But yeah, I guess it's quite difficult to provide something in your stream that will attract people, because usually you are like kind of the two type of streams. You're like either the high level of gameplay or the interesting people.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult to attract and to retain the people. And if you switch games, you're not going to be good at the game, and you have to be interesting enough that in any given 15 seconds, people will say, "Oh, this guy is funny," or "Oh, this stream is funny," which is never the case. Like I'm never going to be funny all the time during my stream. If I'm funny 10 minutes out of 2 hours, that's already great. So I think that's quite difficult to get viewers and to make them to stay, because yeah, it's a bit of luck. Like at any given time, you have to be in a good shape. It has to be like a good stream. Maybe a day where you're like extra energetic, a day where you're playing great, the day you decided to play this more mainstream game. So it's
Yeah.
it's difficult.
How do you because at least for the stream I've seen, the big thing is you stream in times where for me it's a bit hard to be awake when you're streaming, but for the stream I've seen, like, you're very energetic most of the time. How do you handle that, and how do you prepare in a sense before?
So it's gonna be a little funny, but every time when I'm about to start stream, I hit the starting stream button and I rush to the washroom. I wash my face, I look in the mirror, and I say happy time. Every single time, every single like pre-stream I do this. I have a Dove soap there that I use every day. And I sit down and I say, you know what, I'm gonna have some people watching who aren't having the best days, and I'm gonna try and improve their days and sort of distract them, because we've all had bad days. And I really like the idea of being able to go somewhere where you just forget about your day and move on.
Yeah, it's from what I understood, is it's kind of a core element in your streaming offer, in a sense, that what you want is bringing some like joy, and like, it's not about specifically the gameplay, but it's more the spending time with you on stream and hopefully having a good time at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is fairly good. So I think it's I mean, a lot of people already know you, but if they don't, like, you should definitely click on Xaos's name and go give a follow. So I'm sorry, we're still very bad at reading the chat at the same time, but
It happens, yeah.
it happens. Alicia is there to get you, but yeah, if there is any question, just send it twice if you don't see me picking up on the message.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm monitoring. See if I see questions, I'll
Okay.
I'll interrupt.
Perfect. I was wondering, on your kind of perspective for Twitch, how do you see, because so Twitch is not your main activity, how do you see Twitch being in your life, like, in the coming years, and how do you plan to kind of go around with that?
So I graduated from school a few years ago with biology, and so biology doesn't touch on any computer stuff at all, which I've been interested in all my life. And so I've sort of used Twitch in the past few years, not only to drastically improve my confidence, but the skills I've learned using it, I'm certain are going to help me in the future. Like, now I perfectly know how to use the entire Adobe suite, just because I do it for some dumb jokes on Twitch sometimes. Or I know how to interact with an audience or cool down a tough situation. So these communication and just technical skills and even analytics that I'm always staring at related to the stream, it's definitely helped me in the past and helped me learn about basic things they don't teach you in school. And I'm certain in the future as well, I'm going to develop new skills, especially as the market changes. And I'm excited to do it. It's definitely never going to be my main job,
Could
but
be, could be.
it's something.
That was the question. But yeah, so you see Twitch being quite like a long-term experience for you in the
Yeah.
yeah. So being a part, that's quite cool. And it's the one of the because okay, I'll give you my experience and you tell me about yours for that. But I know that what kind of put me to a difficult spot was Twitch was I started by saying, hey, I'm going to do like 3 streams a week or 4 streams a week, depending on if I can or not during the weekend. But I actually kind of reached a point where I couldn't be live really, because it was end of the day. You have you work from 9 to 6. You want to stream at 6:30, kind of rush everywhere, and then you go live and you do that for weeks and weeks and weeks on what. And at some point, it's kind of you won't do it because it just doesn't work well. It's you lack energy, or you kind of you're not putting yourself properly out there in that sense. It's kind of the same thing as preparing yourself with the happy time in the bathroom. But how do you plan to go forward with that?
Uh, so I have those days too where, you know, I've either been stuck with family all day or schools or even job interviews where I just don't feel like streaming. And the best thing there is just not to stream. I think that the advice on Reddit and on all these Twitching sites saying that set a schedule isn't necessarily the best,
Yeah.
because your streaming schedule should be based on if you how you're feeling. And if you set a schedule and you're streaming when you're not the most enthusiastic or not happy about streaming, then there's not really any point.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's things that have happened to me a lot in the past where I've said I would stream like a given day, and that specific day I'm really not in the mood to stream, and I forced myself to stream. It was usually the worst stream for everyone. For me, I was not having a good time, so I was not sharing any specific like positive energy. It was rather just me being upset and reminding everyone that I was upset. And then yeah, the people are coming and say, yeah, well, the stream wasn't great, so do I really want to come back next time? And it's just yeah, I think it's good to have a schedule because people knows when to expect you. But it's also nice to be able to say, yeah, it's a flexible schedule. Like I usually stream on Wednesdays, but if a specific Wednesday I don't feel like it, I won't stream.
Yeah, definitely. That's how basically it's the only way I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this working. Like the people that can do the schedule all the time, it's most of the streamers that I know that can stick to your schedule properly. It's because it's their job. Like it's
Yeah.
the main thing that they do, and so they can actually do that. But it's really hard because when you start thinking about streaming, you're like, maybe it could be a job, but it's definitely way harder than we thought at the beginning to be able to reach that point. And this transition where you start streaming, you start having people coming, and you start seeing your channel growing, there is such like it's a huge amount of work to put in, and it's a long time work to make it like work properly. And so at the end, if you don't do a flexible schedule, even if you're getting close to reach a point where you can like be a professional streamer, you're most probably already exhausted, which is not the place you want to be when you are able to reach this point. And to come back to the numbers, we were talking about that, and you were saying you're still kind of in this like you're still managing the like watching the numbers and everything. How do you deal with the statistic of your channel and like growing, not growing, having better numbers? How is your process there?
So initially I was hyper focused on numbers, but the new thing I've been dealing with, and this is recent for the past few months, and I've really been enjoying my stream since, is I've just stopped looking.
Yeah.
So it's the best. While streaming, I never have any idea how many viewers they are.
Yeah.
To the point where I have one specific chatter who just constantly reminds me.
Okay.
But yeah, by not looking and just trying to pretend everything you want is happening, it's just so much nicer, and there's so much less stress happening. I think that's the best way to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only way I know. So it's everyone that we've been talking to has the same kind of conclusion there. It's like watching the numbers, which is what Twitch wants you to do. It's literally everywhere on Twitch, and everything is just like, there is that many viewers, I sent that many messages. That's great, or that's not that great. So, and you push yourself constantly at watching this. Worst is when you watch it when it's live, because it can really affect how much energy you have left or not during your stream. But it's I mean, to me at least, I feel it's super toxic. It's a worst thing you can have. It's watching those numbers and thinking like, oh god, I need to do better, or I have to give more because there is more people. Not it's just it pushes you out from what you want to share at the beginning. So, yeah. And
I think it's very bad for your mental health, because it's just pushing those numbers, and it's like the message is, hey, do better, and then you start looking, how do I do better? And so you see things telling you, hey, stream more hours, put on a schedule, do Instagram videos, do TikTok videos. You get a list of things that is extremely long, and realize, okay, this is my hobby. It has become more stressful than my full-time job.
Yeah.
Maybe streaming is not for me. And then you have a lot of streamers that just stop when streaming. It's fine if it's just a hobby, and if you never make money out of it, it's a hobby. Like most of your hobbies, you don't make money out of it, and you don't push to become a star in your domain, or to become like a professional Valorant player or Overwatch player. But just have fun, and it's just that you decided that you will share that fun with people. And I think that's something that is not often put forward when you see guides around streaming. They don't tell you have fun, and if people want to follow your fun, great. If no one follows your fun, well, keep going, keep having fun.
Yeah,
I think that's my streaming advice.
And that's also due to the platform. Like, it's like, for example, you won't see. I'm comparing with guitar, but you won't see your guitar telling you that, hey, now you can just reach this level and get like more of this. It's just like Twitch is really, really into pushing and this, like all the things that Nico was mentioning about, hey, do TikTok, go for YouTube videos, do like Instagram posts. It's so now you almost need a full team about like community management, marketing on the social network to acquire more viewers. In a sense, it's getting huge, where all of that pressure is put from the platform to the streamers that at the beginning maybe didn't even know that they wanted to do more or anything. It's just was just, as you said, a hobby. So how did like the full journey kind of impacted your, let's say, mental health, or at least mental well-being around streaming?
I think it's helped, because like I said earlier, it improved my confidence, and especially when I'm in a high-risk household, so I wasn't able to go outside at all during the pandemic. So it helped foster that communication to the outside world.
Yeah. And then after COVID?
After COVID, it's also more or less helped, because so many things are still online, and Yeah.
Sorry, I have a cat living.
Just a second.
Bombay was
What's
playing
going on
with
with the cat?
He was just playing with the cables, and I was a bit afraid that I would actually lose connection. So yeah, that's fine. He basically just lay down behind the computer, so getting the hit of it. But sometimes it just like press some buttons that disconnect cameras and stuff like this, which is great.
That's my streamer.
I mean, technical issues is mainly what's happening on stream.
Hmm.
So, sorry, I'm just quickly. Oh yeah, one of the question that, and I don't think I know the answer for that. How did you hear about us?
I googled top 10 new things to add to your stream, and
Okay.
I found a blog post from this website called Nova Square, having no idea you guys wrote your own blog post. And then I forgot the name, so for like the next week I was searching for it, and eventually I found it again and signed up. But that's the story.
That's crazy. Because so blog post is something that we wanted to do and write a bit more about also like what our vision is with Alicia and all of this element. But I wouldn't have known that you found us on the on the blog post. It's one of the first blog posts that we wrote.
I thought it was like because there were other suggestions on it
Yeah.
too that I don't remember, but it was so well written. I thought it was like a professional company. And I looked into it, and it was your own blog post.
So for the story, I think you joined in April, if
Yeah.
I remember well. The company was incorporated in February, the 1st of February, and the beta was launched the 1st of March. So you literally, like, it was a 2-month-old company when you found us, very young. Oh, that's pretty cool. I know a few people were like saw us in different streams. So I was wondering because I didn't see you on Jeffo stream, which was the main like kind of ambassador at the time.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before.
Before the last. And so, wait, you were looking for like different tools to add and improve your stream, or were you specifically looking for AI or for anything?
I think I was looking for something that would, because I struggle a lot finding good moments during my stream and like saving them.
Yep.
So I was looking for an AI bot that would be able to automatically like scan the VOD and say, "Oh, you did good here, here, and here." And there are a few, but they're not so great. But I think my search sort of led me to Alicia because of that connection of AI.
Yeah, because we're not doing that. So
Yeah.
we can't help you with this.
Well, Alicia would say she is the highlight of the stream.
Yeah,
But, well,
Yeah.
we all know her ego, so she's
Mm.
very. So yeah, I remember when you tested quite a lot on the acting part, where
Yes.
I think you most probably were the first one trying out like very crazy acting. I don't remember all because the main one I remember is the one that didn't work when you contacted us about like her thinking that you were the acting. If I don't know if you remember that, but it was a bug where
Yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah,
She thought I was Obama.
yeah. I mean, she must have been impressed. So
Yeah. No, I definitely had a lot of fun with the acting just because it's a unique tool and it adds conversation and engagement, and it's the best way to use her.
yeah, the acting is I think the best way. We started with just the behavior, which was just sarcastic and things like this, but the acting, and again, Jella, tell me if I'm wrong on that, but I think you suggested the acting.
yeah, probably. It's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but I think you were
Yeah,
saying that
it's
would be
really
nice.
this, like, when we started and we started giving the possibility to have like personality. So at the time it was called behavior.
Yeah,
because like terminology evolved over time. And so people would put just one word, and that's also the way we were using it. Like you would put one word, and that's it. And so we had like very binary kind of personalities
Mhm.
where she was one thing only. And we started expanding. Hey, maybe we could add more words, right? And then we said, hey, it would be cool if you could, impersonate someone famous or someone from the pop culture, these kind of things. And that's where we said, yeah, actually, we can. It would be fun to have Yoda in your chat. And so, oh yeah, that's true. And so we started adding these kind of things. It was really the first options to customize Alicia. Now we are a lot of them, but that was really the two. I think it's the two first things we really provided with this kind of personality, and then more of this acting as well, complementing the personality.
Yeah. Brainy just arrived in chat. Hey Brainy, how are you doing? Can see he is trying to have a Robin Williams in the chat now. So, but yeah, I think that was one of the cool things that happened there, and you tested it till the edge, as I was saying in the intro. So that was good. No.
Yeah.
How was the like the first time when you got Alicia? How was the first introduction? Like with you, your community. How did it work?
I think it was really funny because I didn't necessarily tell anyone that she was a bot. So I just said, "Hey, that's my little sister" in the chat, and just waited to see how long they would figure it out. Which was definitely a funny interaction. Now a lot of my chat is scared of Alicia.
Scared.
Scared.
Ooh, okay.
You know, the going back to testing the limits, I have the TTS, have her talk speed relatively fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've heard that. I think it was on your stream this week, and I've heard that. Yeah.
Which I think is really funny, but it scares some chatters definitely. But I love it. It's an integral part of the stream now.
That's cool. And we got I don't know if you saw that earlier today in the Funniest channel on the Discord. It's Agromagnet who shared that. Alicia decided to whisper something very, very scary. Something
Yeah, like she whispered because she can decide how she says things, which I think is pretty cool. And she whispered, "You don't see me, but I always see you, even if you don't hear me." And the fact that she whispered that makes it extra creepy.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
And so you asked to have a special voice as well for Halloween. So we'll think about that. It would be cool. I'm still like looking into finding the time to do it, but would be quite nice.
It's always difficult for us because we have so many ideas, and then all the community brings so many ideas where you're like, that's a really good idea, and then we start looking at, okay, well, it would take me probably this much time to do it. Okay, how much time do we have? We already have too many things to do. So yeah, it's especially I would say with the TwitchCon in 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Well, you're not coming.
It's always.
I won't be able to come, no. But are you two excited for it?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're very tired.
And very scared as well.
Fair enough.
It's a big mixed feeling, but mostly excited. It's just that first time in the US for both of us, right, Nico? Or
Both of us,
yeah, both of us. Also, it's not like a long trip. It's going to be 5 days only. So scared about the time difference, like the jet lag. Also, make sure that we have everything ready, which is
Not the case.
not the case yet.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, there is a lot of things there. But quite excited about it. There is some people that we has already been in touch saying that they will be coming, and so we're quite excited to meet some of the users directly there. We would have been extremely happy to meet you for real. But if
Next time.
if you go to London at some point, we'll be happy to have
Yeah.
you there. So,
For sure.
So yeah. Sorry, I'm just going through that. Nico, do you have a?
Oh yeah, I mean it's. I think we can keep going maybe a bit with the Alicia experience because when you started using Alicia, the streamer dashboard was very different.
Yes.
If you remember how it was at first compared to now,
Mhm.
did you find that it was easy to follow over time, like the new additions, and to see, oh yeah, there is these new things I can do now? What, or was it like, oh, everything has changed, I'm lost?
Okay, I actually have a picture of it, so I
Oh,
can show.
that'd be perfect.
I can show it on stream. So everyone get ready because this is a very disgusting thing. It was only one page, and it was this page.
So this was the whole streamer dashboard, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, Exhaustus, on the stream.
I think I have the stream open on another tab. Yes, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do remember this.
So, so yeah, the first version of the dashboard was mainly just one page, and you had this experimental part which you used quite well to have some cool stuff there, and that was it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I have a cat attack.
Do you want to show what's just the landing page of the dashboard looks
Yeah.
like today?
Yeah, let me grab that. I have it somewhere. Yeah, because obviously it's going to be a bit more interesting now. Let me try to find. Sorry, I should have been prepared. It's always the case. I'm always unprepared for this kind of things. Yeah, I have one here. And up here. That's I think the latest version for now.
Yes, lots of difference. That's changed quite a lot, but yeah, that gives an idea to like people that would be joining today or been joining recently, is that Alicia and I would say the streamer dashboard have evolved a lot
Yeah,
in the last 6 months.
6-7 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think despite, the first one looking very basic, it was always super simplistic. And apart from that one time where I locked myself out, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
But-
but it was yeah, I remember.
But other than that, it's always been super simplistic, and I appreciate that because there's so many Twitch tools that you open, and it's just a million things, and they're ads too.
Yeah.
So this one is perfect because it's just simple, click, click, click. The only issue I think I had with it is I used Firefox primarily, and I was never able to set that up. But on Chrome, it doesn't take up any computing power to leave it open and leave the mic on while streaming, which I also appreciate because I know that you guys could easily make someone that does make something that does take a lot of computing power while listening. So I appreciate the simplicity and just being able to keep it open in the background with no effect on anything else on the computer.
That's cool. We also have now the advanced version which works on Firefox. So
Yeah.
it's but I'm sure the advanced version takes a bit more computing power because had to find some workarounds. But yeah.
I mean, it was part of that journey of having users. Is that I use Chrome, and I think Yuba also use Chrome or Safari.
I'm one of these people that use Safari. Yes.
And so when we built that thing, we built it on Chrome and on Safari. It was working well, so we didn't think about it. We just pushed, say, "Hey, that thing is working."
Yay!
And then we realized, oh yeah, there are other browsers. And then I discovered that a lot of people use Opera, and well, I think Opera is a great browser, but I really hate when people hate the dashboard on the browser because that's where we
doesn't
start
work.
having troubles.
Mm. Are they all Chromium-based browsers? Is it the same technology on Chromium-based browsers?
I think every Chromium based should be working fine with with the dashboard. Weirdly enough, I was surprised that Safari is actually working fine as well. And even for the classic speech, like speak to Alicia system, where I thought it was only going to be working fine on Chrome, and actually the classic version works on Safari as well. But yeah, mainly Chromium based should be working okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. One of the things that we usually ask is there like one specific thing? Okay, sorry, the cat is leaving again. Basically, it's doing a round, so it's jumping on the desk, going on me, going down, it's turning. If there was one thing that you'd like to see coming in the next weeks or month on Alicia, what would it be?
I really enjoy the text-to-speech system, and I think, and I know this is a lot of work, but maybe adding a custom voice feature where just like the acting, Alicia can impersonate a celebrity, not too well but
So there is legal issue.
yeah, exactly. I know there's legal issues there, but even just being able to upload your own files, maybe, so that the legalities of it is on the user and not on you guys. I don't know
Yeah.
if that would work.
No, the I mean, there is ways. I mean, we've been literally looking at that for the past. Now we're in
past few
October,
weeks.
6 weeks. I've been looking into how we can make customizable voice for Alicia, and we know a way, but there is again the legal issue.
Yeah.
There is the authorization issue. There is like a lot of different things. So it would mean that we would have to filter out different, like what you are going to input as voice for Alicia, which is something we always tend to not do. Which so yeah, it's the main problem. But that's actually really on the roadmap. We are working with one streamer who basically just wanted to have his voice cloned. We have it in a sense, but we can't use it yet. So it's stuff that we want to push forward, and we will be still looking into it. But we got limitation around like different systems where we need to get all the approvals and make sure that we can move forward with it. But should be there. The monster will be there as well. The thing is, I'm currently looking for, because for some reason I like the old grumpy lady on my stream, or the old person in my stream, who would be like making sarcastic and kind of laid back comments on what is happening. I want an old voice. That's the thing I want. I want an old voice, and that would be making me happy. So that's kind of where we should be heading at some point. So definitely.
Yeah, I think one thing Yuba said is that if you want to know what's coming next on Alicia, just come on my stream and see what's bothering me.
I think it's more, even not just on my stream, is as a general thing in a content creation process. If you want to know what we will be working on next, just ask me what bothers me the most.
And that's bothering you the most right now?
Right now, I want a grumpy voice. So that's what I want to see. No, there is different things that we're working on, but it's it's a general rule. So, yeah. We have some. I'm kind of catching up with the chat now. Brenny, we will be. You already answered. Sorry, Jalab. I can see you already on there. On this.
Yeah.
Oh, Taylor Swift would be another problem for us. Even bigger, I think. If we start getting like Taylor Swift voice, the next day we're shut down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll have lawyers calling us and saying, "Hey, take Alicia down."
Right now. So So yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And another question around Alicia and your use for that. It's how what's your like favorite personality? Which is like the one you would use the most?
I try to change it every stream to something new, but I really enjoy the sarcastic one because the sarcastic personality is the best that a chatter can interact with because you never really know what she's gonna say. So, for example, if a chatter asks if Alicia will marry them, she could say yes or no, and it's always nice because if it was nice, obviously she'd say maybe next time, blah blah blah. But if it's sarcastic, it's my favorite personality because it always generates many funny moments between chatters and Alicia.
Yeah, I think is a most liked personality anyway.
Hmm.
It's most probably the one I prefer as well. So yeah, that's good. And have you tried to put her as a grumpy?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
How did it go?
It went great. I just love something new, keeping chatters on their toes, not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
A fast text to speech speed, a slow text to speech speed. Always mixing it up is the customizability is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a game with my viewers during one of the Red Train where they would just write words in the chat, and I would create a personality out of it. And then I also asked for acting, and ended up being like a businessman that's also a kung fu master. And so she was creating martial art techniques with like the $100 feast, or seeing how she would win a fight using like throwing money at you, this kind of thing. So it was quite funny because it was very unexpected,
Hmm.
and it worked really well. Like everyone was really having a good time. So for me it's the thing where you can customize it anytime with
Yeah.
anything, and some will work, some will not work. Happens, but when you find something that works, it's usually you have a very good time, and you have like a lot of very cool chat happening in your chat.
And it's completely unrelated question. So sorry, we're going out of this. But I was wondering, do you have one streamer that you're looking up to? Like one streamer that would be your kind of inspiration overall?
If you asked me a year ago, I'd give you a million answers, but right now not so much
Okay.
because
What changed?
it's just I don't know. I think I just watch streamers less, and
Okay.
and I found that my style is different than a lot of the streamers I watch. So, in terms of trying to match my stream to a specific style, I want to have my own spin with it, and I try not to add in sort of these outside influences, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the I think that's the when you have unreachable not
Yeah.
goals, but because you can't either way you are this person or you're not, and so you
Yeah.
can't really replicate exactly what happened, neither their journey. And most of the time what a streamer is today is more about what the journey was for this person along the
Yes.
different years. So yeah, no, 100%. It's kind of coming with another question, but if you if you were about to see yourself now, we are 3 years ago, is there like any advice you would give about like how to start streaming and what you would how you would advise yourself?
The biggest the biggest advice I give to myself is just start, because it's something, because I'd watched so many streams and content creators before when I was younger. I'd always had it in the back of the mind saying I play so many games, I should start streaming. Just start. And this is the advice I give to anyone new who comes in my chat asking about streams and whatnot, where it takes too long to try and perfect your emotes and your overlay and everything, when all you really need to do is just start, and you can do that after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
the
lean
stream
lean
or the
version.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't start, you won't do it. It's
Exactly.
yeah.
It's easy to find excuses not to start.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, but I don't have my overlay. Oh, I don't have emotes. Yeah, but my mic is not great. Oh, I don't have a webcam, or these kind of things. And
You want to give your experience when you started streaming, Jalam.
it was another time. Like I started, the first time I streamed was 2014. So
Mhm.
Twitch was, I would say, a lot less professional. Like nowadays, you go to any streamer, they have a nice webcam, they have a nice mic, they have emotes, they have overlays. It looks clean. They have a nice description. Back in the day, I googled some disgusting photos that I put together. It looked like nothing, no mic, no webcam. I had like a very old screen, so the stream was looking like it was from 10 years ago. But people still came to my stream, so I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure if I would do the same thing today, I would have 0 viewers.
You never know.
So, we never know. But just the fact that I was said, hey, I don't care, I just want to stream and I'll see.
Mhm.
And I got viewers, so I was happy with it. But yeah, I think starting is the most difficult because
Yep.
I think it's so much anxiety before, like what will be like. I will really talk to myself and hope that someone is listening. So I think starting is the most difficult, and once you've actually started, it gets easier with time.
Mhm.
It's the one of the advice that I've basically seen online when I started, and specifically, yeah, I mean that applies to everything. But it was doing some a description of what you do during the day, like just by yourself. You describe what you're doing, and at the end, it kind of linked when you start streaming. So you'll be more able to detail what you're doing in the game, or if I'm like doing saxophone and getting used to actually talk. You're not talking alone, but you are kinda like you're in your room. You're not. You don't have. You're not going to have someone responding to you straight away, and you might not have someone responding to you at all. So, and that shouldn't be a problem. That should be okay. But it's when you're not streaming and you start streaming, I think that's the hardest part, if that makes sense. Like starting to have this where you used to be talking. No, sorry. He's always coming when I start. Come here, Bombay. And here we go. He's now on my lap. So yeah, I think because we start talking with people to interact in real time, and when you start streaming, you're actually not doing that at all. Which is, I think, the biggest problem that I had at first, like being able to do this, like talking through and just trying to interact. But yeah, it was interesting time when in the kitchen you start describing what you're doing. And so now I'm going to boil eggs. So I'm putting some water inside the inside the. I don't even have the name, but
You become very good at commentating things that are usually would say it's not worth commenting what I'm doing, but then you get very good at even making, I would say, the mundane thing exciting if you're trying a bit. And I find that it's a cool skill to have.
Yes, it is.
it's a different story. But I don't know if you. I know Nico doesn't, but do you have your driving license?
I do.
You do, and so you went to the driving school, and so you had this person teaching you. What I did to get the driving license for free is I went to the teacher school, basically. So they were learning on how to become a driving teacher. And what they did during that phase was they had an exercise where you were there as a student for this student teacher, and their teacher was saying, now start to be describe driving. And that was so weird. Like they were just driving and describing every single thing that they could see, or what they were doing, and so it was super interesting to see. But basically, now that I'm looking back at it, it's basically the same exercise that we're doing when streaming. You're literally explaining what you do and what you see and stuff like this. But it was
Yes.
exactly that experience where they were doing that, which is it makes sense when you're driving. So that's cool. So yeah.
I think another piece of unrelated but really big advice that I would give to myself if I started streaming is to stop buying so many microphones.
Guilty.
Just I keep buying them, and they're getting progressively more expensive.
What microphone do you have now?
So now I have the SM7B, I think,
Okay,
but this is my third microphone.
one per year, so it's good.
One per year,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's my second one. This one.
Mhm.
But the thing is, I also have the saxophone mics, which is
Mm.
also my second one. So it's almost 2 per years. But yeah, I think buying too many things is definitely the main problem
Yeah.
with streaming.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Especially when you
it's-
don't use them.
is the improve your stream, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's just we're falling back to it where you read, how do I make my stream better, and it's like buy more stuff, which may or may not help, but yeah, it's
Mhm.
this always buy more, always do more kind of mindset.
Yep.
Where it's again, it's a hobby. Maybe like having a better mic. I mean, having a good mic is always nice, I would say, especially now where there is more.
Affordable
So-
mics.
Yeah, and there is more activities or even work, like more remote work, so it's nice to have a good mic. But do I need to have like a very expensive webcam? Well, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, it's I think it's part of also compensating. I don't know. That's not a word. Like compensate.
Yeah, maybe my stream is not performing well enough because I don't have the latest
Exactly.
webcam.
That's what
Yeah.
I meant. So it's like trying to find way to comfort yourself on some aspect, but that's extremely draining because at the end when you get the new gear and it's the same, you actually you're falling back to yourself. It's the I know what I've done on the buying gear stuff was more like how much I've generated with the stream, and if I reach like 50% of the things that I want to buy, I buy it.
Yeah.
Which is still not like, I mean, you can see I have a very fancy camera, for example,
Mhm.
but and the mic, and I have a keyboard, the lights, and stuff like this. It's just it makes me happy to have this, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's I think I should have waited a bit more. So that so that's a big thing. G-Dealer. So we can answer you. There is it's basically multiple models that are running to make Alicia. It's not just one. So that's why she's going to kind of bail out or respond sideways. But yeah, it's one of the questions that I think we get the most. Like, what is she based on? And actually, it can't be just one answer. So it's not possible. But yeah.
But you're certain it's not someone locked in a room having to answer all these questions?
Hey, stop! Huh?
I think that's one thing we've seen a lot where people have said, "Nah, there's no way that's an AI. I'm sure it's someone typing something."
I can. That's another story. But we have a lot on that. So it's when we started Alicia, so it was directly on my channel at first, July, August. September we started to try out with some different streamers, and I was chatting with people that built startups and stuff like this, and one of them told me that just drop the technical side. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it can't be anything else than technical. Hey, no, what you want to know is if people would be interested to have this in the chat. So just go and try to find some people to be able to be in the chats of your streamers and chat like Alicia in the chat. And I was like, That's a very sneaky idea. I could say fair, but I mean, on the business perspective, you could say yes, obviously that works. But to me, I was like, I can't do that. It's not possible. First, it's more fun to try to build it, which is great that it's working. But it was one of the actual thought that went through the mind of multiple people, where like, just get some people chatting in the chat of the streamers. That's it, and you'll deal with making it an AI later. I was like, no. I'd like to make it an AI now. So yeah, it was quite interesting. But no, it is not a person. It's I mean, the next version that we're working on, which is quite disturbing, and I need to look a bit more into that. She is actually convinced that she's a person, and that we saw that in different chats where you start asking like, "Hey, Alicia, so you're an AI or a viewer?" No, I'm a viewer. Okay, and you can start like asking deep question like, "Okay, so where do you live? In the US? Okay, where? I'm on the West Coast. Okay, where?" And you keep, and what do you do? I'm working in social, social services, and you can go deep into the conversation until a point where she's like, "Hey, can we just stop like about the question? Like there is other thing to do in chat." So I was like, okay, that's good. It was interesting. Morpheus
Yeah.
has.
That sounds freaky, especially when she'll say things like "I'm always watching you" and then act like a real person.
She's whispering that.
Oh, right.
There's definitely interesting things coming in the future for Alicia. So that's
Yeah.
we try to release new things every week or 2 weeks, but there are like big stuff that takes more time because it's bigger changes. But yeah, I think it's the future is quite exciting for
I'm
what's
excited
coming
for
next
it.
with Alicia.
And I was wondering, unrelated question again, but you, when we contacted you for the Red Train, the first one, I think, have you done any Red Train before?
Nope,
No.
I haven't.
Have you?
So that was my first time.
Yeah. How was it like? What do you think about like the whole like Red Train type of system?
I think it can be good for events like TwitchCon or just in general, but when they happen too frequently, it can sort of diminish the meaning behind them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, it's good that the raid trains you guys have hosted have been every few months or so, while I've seen offers for some that are like weekly raid trains or always have people to raid, which I don't necessarily enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
those
so
are just my thoughts on it.
it is more often that now you're seeing Red Trains, or it's
I see raid trains a lot for smaller streamers on Twitter and whatnot,
okay.
but I think the concept of raid trains is very much the same concept of if you follow me, I'll follow you. And it doesn't necessarily generate a lot of new members in your community. It's like you said earlier, when you get raided by someone huge,
Yeah.
it's mostly just lurkers.
Yeah.
And so what I've seen in raid trains, and I didn't necessarily see this with Alicia because it's a tighter community, but in these long Twitter threads where it says sign up for a raid train here, it's more or less just useless, and it can only work within a specific community.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't seen those Red Train the
I think in the music world it happens a lot. Like there are some streamers I just see them going live, and like every time they go live, it's a different red train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the part where it can become like, what red train is it? How come it's different from the other red train? What are they promoting something, or is what's going on? I guess the fact that we do like one per month where it's just centered kind of around Alicia, it's interesting because then you have streamers like discovering new ways of using Alicia or new personalities and things. It's always things I find interesting where like you have viewers coming from one stream saying, "Oh, your Alicia is so different from the one I'm used to." So
Yeah.
that's where it's quite funny.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And what was interesting in the on this is that people actually from the community discover different streamers, which I think it's the heart of like making the community. Like there is
Yeah.
some people that will actually get connected to then start working together on different things, and so yeah. But I get that. I would be interested to see this. I haven't seen the red trains you're talking about, like the Twitter threads and stuff like this. It's the only one I knew before doing the Alicia red train was actually the music one. So
Mm.
it's the same thing as you said before. I should have done my homework on this, where I didn't discover this part. But most of the people that we chatted with, if they were not inside music community, red train were not really a things. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's which I think it's kind of sad because I get the idea where it's when it's completely open, you don't get what it is, and so this
Mhm.
connection doesn't make sense. But being part of in a community, and we see that a lot with French streamers, where they have very tight community together to build
Yes.
events and stuff like this. They do event where they're streaming all together at the same time and kind of spread out different words, which works well. But I'm always wondering, like, how would it work within a red train where you have kind of this different shows and different streamers sharing together the same train.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see that.
Hmm.
So yeah. Maybe Nico, do you have any? Put you on the spot there.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked quite a lot already.
Yeah.
um,
I'm just curious, like maybe if there is any question. I'm trying to go through the chat. Beside like a question about Alicia, more talking about question for Exausis.
I didn't see questions really.
I mean, there is a lot of people asking you about when you can play Valorant, but
Well, it's not right now.
but yeah. Yeah.
So, recently Meta announced that they're making their own chat buddies using AI.
Yeah, I've seen
And
that.
So I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that and how that would sort of differentiate from Alicia in the future.
So my understanding for their announcement is the same as a lot of different companies. Is still what works for them is a one-on-one chat,
Mhm.
and which is one of the big differentiation with Alicia is that we're not in a one-on-one chat. We're in an end-to-end, which brings a lot of different challenges when it comes to it. So one-on-one chat are great, but it doesn't help to. We don't solve the same problem. So that's the main thing. On the other side, they basically replicate celebrities, which means that they have big contracts and a lot of lawyers behind it. When I saw the announcement, in my mind it was just like, whoa, okay, they pulled that off. Because in the same way that you will be paying for servers to run and so by default generate stuff, they must be paying some sort of a fee based on how many interaction there were. Like I don't know. Actually, I'm very curious on what was like decided behind the hood. Like, how did they come up with that? Especially after all the different strikes that happened with the writers in Hollywood, which one of the problem was also related to AI, that you can actually at some point have an AI writing instead of an actual writer, which is a big problem to us at least on this. AI shouldn't be replacing, we should be helping. Like the main idea is to make sure that we are in support of what a human wants to do. It's not to replace someone. For the celebrities, I'm guessing it's more about skills. So a celebrity cannot answer to everyone who wants to talk to them. It's a fun part, so they kind of replicate it themselves. But yeah, related yet to replacing through writers or things like this. I think they are. It's more for us. It's more about supporting. So we've seen some people saying like, oh yeah, it should be definitely something where you can replace yourself as a streamer to have a version of yourself AI that will be animating. I understand that, and I think it's going to happen very soon. We've seen some people in the on YouTube like doing videos which is entirely generated by AI with an AI avatar and all of this. It will most probably work. I don't think we're going toward that direction. At least not for us.
Yeah, that definitely would take away a lot of the creativity of streaming if it's just an algorithm.
Yeah.
On the screen.
I mean, I think AI at some point will be able to do most of this, but it just we're not streaming just because we have to create content. We're streaming because we want to stream and we enjoy the hobbies on doing that. And like to me, AI in general should be something that you use and leverage to release human to do other things that they didn't want to do. So it's more
as a tool rather than a replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, OMG, a streamer. Oh my god, a streamer. A viewer, sorry. Can't read anymore. Sorry. Working on designing an AGI. Thank you, Judilla. True. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said streamer instead of viewer. It's just like my brain is already fried, so I can't read anymore.
Yeah, it's just our usual tired selves.
Yeah, exactly. Scared of Alicia. No.
We all are.
Yeah. No, I always say hello and thank you when I do tests with Alicia, just to be sure, you know.
Yeah. I think
sometimes I have the Alicia stream open and I see you doing tests, and it will just be you saying hi 6 times and then not responding to Alicia. It's very funny.
When did we do? Was it Alicia's stream or my channel?
Alicia's stream. Stream.
Okay. Well, I don't know when we, because usually if you want to see tests of the very experimental version, it's on my channel, and I can tell you one was most probably a few weeks ago when we pushed to the edge, trying to replicate what you do, but Gelab went very very hard on Alicia. And we are actually working on a very experimental version, which should help to create a relationship between like people as well. And yeah, we went to the edge.
Yeah, she hated me.
Yeah, and we forgot to reset her. And when I went on live, she hated him so much that as soon as it popped up in the chat, basically she just told like, "Oh no, not you! Just leave the chat. We don't want to have you here." That was, and she wasn't even mean. Like it was not like the setup was.
Just... I had to do like formal apology that she ended up accepting, and then she accepted to talk to me.
So yeah,
that's
so
interesting.
In the future, when you implement this into the main, I forget the name, but when you integrate this, would there be an option for the streamer to individually go and view her relationships to certain viewers and reset them manually?
That's part of the thing we need to actually discuss. I think the first version will be most probably just an erase, like resets, because going deep into the relationship that she's going to create is going to be too hard for a first version, and we need to have the first kind of the first version out there to start like getting as much feedback as we can to improve the system. But yeah, it's and there is also the part where we want to know um, how do we share this type of relation. Like for example, you want maybe to come on my stream and Alicia knows you.
Mhm.
Is this something we can share? Either like, do we need authorization? Like the streamer should be saying, "Hey, all of this." Like
Yeah.
this is still like we have a lot of question and answered yet, and that's why it's not yet released. Also, the fact that it's crashing quite a lot, but
That's unrelated.
So, that's for later. Like this
Mm.
version is still being tested in the background, but yeah, we will most probably have this very soon, hopefully. So yeah, cool. Yeah, I think we most probably. So I'm checking also the some question about like naming extra, but naming is not yet on the list. We know we have this feature. It will be coming at some point, but not yet.
Mhm.
So we know, and we also know how it can be done, but it's just not for the coming month. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Which is understandable. Take your, time
yeah.
working through these updates.
Yeah. So another thing, but yeah, I think we'll be getting close to clothing for this episode. I'm just looking into if I missed any comments there, but that should be it. And just a reminder, and I will have the rights to do that because it's the right channel. Can I write this? I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to do a shout out. I'm not sure. We need to. It's not there. Sorry. Because I'm using currently the Alicia channel and nothing is basically set up there to actually be streaming. Last time we already noticed that, and obviously I didn't change anything in between.
Mm.
So that was a thing. Yes, we got it.
There we go.
Perfect. So if anyone is not already following Xausis, just click on the little heart button and go check him out. Go check his craziness in video games, and also go check your version of Alicia, which is changing every stream. So you can't miss a stream if you want to see every Alicia. Hey Malicious, how are you doing? Malicious, for example, will be at the TwitchCon Vegas. So we'll be most probably meeting up there. Happy to
That's
see you.
exciting.
Yeah. That's super cool. So we're about to end Malicious, but thank you for jumping in. And I think we're about to have a chat a bit later. So that's perfect. Cool. Is there anything I'm missing, Nico?
Yeah, I think we're good. I think it was. I'm very happy we had that chat with you, Xausis, because like we've been chatting on Discord for many
Mhm.
months now, but it's great to get to hear you and to hear more about your streaming experience. I find it interesting whenever I go to streams, and I get to learn more about streamers, because everyone has his own story, and there are these aspects or these moments where you say, "Oh yeah, I had the same," and the other where it's like, "Oh, it's completely different."
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite cool. I think it's also why we wanted to have this kind of podcast. And we like talking, so
Yep.
we're happy to talk with people. But yeah,
We like stories.
I think it's quite interesting. I'm very happy we could make it.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys inviting me, and I had a really good time as well.
That's really cool. And also, I mean, it's a big part for Alicia that you're here. So definitely something we wanted to have you very soon, as you really helped over the last month to shape what Alicia is today. So I think it's an important thing to say. So thank you. Thanks a lot for being part of the community, and thank you for using Alicia.
I hope she remembers me when she takes over the world.
She'll be whispering you some words.
She
So-
never promised me that she will spare me, so I know I'm doomed.
That was actually a thing where I was saying Alicia promised me to not kill me if she takes over, and someone just said that, yeah, but we also know she lies very well. Which is true. Cool. So I think we'll be closing here, and malicious. We will be posting the VOD of the podcast, and also getting the episode on Spotify. So I'm sure you'll be able to catch up there, and I'll ping you later on Discord, so no worries. And yeah, I think have a great day for you, Xausis, and for everyone in the US. And have a great evening for the people in Europe. I'll see you very soon on Discord, and yeah, enjoy the
Dudila
rest of
2023
Oh,
is now
sorry.
following. Welcome in the fam.
So-
That's the wrong stream alert.
it is the wrong stream alert. Sorry for that. So have a good one, and see you next time.
Have a lovely night.
Bye bye.